Steve, we'll start with you in regards to transfer portal news. There's been a couple Buckeyes hit the portal, and one came out the other end in Los Angeles, one Bryson Shaw. So he the most recognizable and accomplished Buckeye of the group. But Marcus Hooker, also, of course, of the Malik Hooker clan family, entering the transfer portal as well. So your thoughts about the recent entries?
Well, I'm not losing a lot of sleep over the guys who have left Ohio State. They had to pare down their scholarship roster a little bit to get under the 85 limit, and they have more than successfully done that. Marcus Hooker, the last one to go in, puts them now down at 84. So they can actually now go into the portal and find somebody at a position of need if they want, maybe an offensive lineman who could come in and be in the two deep and provide depth or push a start right now this season. I don't know what other glaring spots that they really need to fill at this point. But yes, Bryson Shaw going to USC, reunited, and it feels so good with Grinch, the guy who pounded the table for him at Ohio State. Grinch loves him some Shaw, and now they are reunited, and it feels so good at USC. And going to win the Pac-12 with Lincoln Riley as their head coach in the first year. So, and whether Bryson Shaw is going to start at safety for USC or not may determine whether or not they win the Pac-12 championship or not. So, I kid. I'm just kidding, Mr. and Mrs. Shaw. So beyond that, you had two guys, LeJon Cavazos and Jacoby Cowan, both moved down to North Carolina to play there. Cormonte Hamilton is going to Memphis, where he is reunited, and it feels so good with Matt Barnes. Let's see. Marcus Hooker just entered the portal. If there's a school out there that needs a guy who falls asleep at the drive-through window and is the brother of an accomplished NFL player, then so be it. Maybe there'll be a taker for him. But I don't see a whole lot here to where I'm losing a lot of sleep. I thought Noah Potter was maybe a little short-sighted jumping in because I think he could have helped them a little bit at defensive end, particularly if somebody got hurt. But I guess he thinks maybe he's going to start or play more plays somewhere else. And he did have a very good spring. So the one other one that was somewhat interesting was Andre Turrentine. Had only spent 1 year at Ohio State, I believe. And according to Dan Hope, our good friend from 11 Warriors, he played something like 106 plays out of a possible 122 in the spring game, which doesn't even seem possible. But I guess maybe Perry Eliano forgot to take him out of the game and just kind of left him on cruise control. So I don't know what to make of that. They play you 100 plays and it's not enough for you, apparently. So I don't know what to make of that situation. But I think I've covered all the new portal entries and where some of the old portal entries are headed. And again, as I said, I didn't, other than Noah Potter, I don't think I had anybody in there who figured to play a whole lot this coming season.
Yeah, I mean, all the names have been mentioned there, so I'm not going to have any of those to go through, but you have to get to 85, and honestly, it's more likely that Ohio State, in terms of its current makeup, gets down closer to 83, 82. I mean, it's a two-way street. I mean, there are going to be guys that there are going to be conversations that are going to be had with, and even if the coaching staff's like, you should probably stick it out another year, they may say, well, I just kind of see how the handwriting is on the wall. I mean, I find it very interesting. They're going to be playing 3 safeties. They've just recently lost 3 safeties. That just shows the amount of depth. It shows the addition of Tanner McAllister coming in via the portal. It shows the emergence, of what we've seen in a very small sample size of Kai Stokes. I think that they're guys that are recognizing that they may not have, they put in their time, to various amounts, and they may not be, they may not get the reward at the end of the rainbow. So they're going to go look somewhere else to where, these were all talented guys. It's not like we're seeing a bunch of these guys going and going down a classification, going down to FCS, going down to something like that. They're all landing at Power 5 programs, more or less. I mean, Memphis is in the American, which, would like to say Power 6, but, I think that's a good fit for Cormonte Hamilton going back, being reunited with Matt Barnes, going home. He's originally from Memphis. So, you get invested in these players. They come in and, it's just going to have, you're going to have that kind of churn. The one thing that I do say, though, is that, while most people have been pretty cool about it on social media, there's always going to be the couple of trolls out there that's like, good, get out. That doesn't serve anybody any purpose. So, knock that blank off.
Yeah, when Bryson Shaw's dad announced that his son Bryson had landed at USC, I didn't bother retweeting it because I try to protect the parents from replies from Buckeye fans where it concerns certain players. And so then, because then I saw some of the replies to the dad, and it's like, good luck. Bryson just needs to continue to work on his angles and get his speed up and make sure he tackles better. And poor dad just has to be like, thank you for your support. Thanks. We'll pass that along to the coach. Like, I try, I hate seeing the players that get just bombarded with critiques and stuff like that. Like, why do you tell the dad, hey, good luck, but here's what your son just needs, as long as he continues to work on that? Are you Lincoln Riley? Are you Lincoln Riley responding to that tweet? No. Obviously they know what things didn't go great, and I they can say what they want. I don't think the Shaws are leaving with a great taste of Ohio State in their mouth based on social media, and that's not I don't think the Shaws will be alone in that. But everybody transfers here, in my opinion. The transfers that we've seen, they've all got at least 3 guys ahead of them. Even Andre Turrentine, who had just Josh Proctor ahead of him at strong safety in the spring game. That's because Court Williams was out, Lathan Ransom is out, and Sonny Styles isn't here yet. So he's going to be battling with Sonny Styles to be the 4th strong safety. And he was going to have to battle probably with Marcus Hooker as well. And of course, Marcus Hooker is gone. Bryson Shaw was playing strong safety in the spring, and he left. So these are all guys that saw big Hollywood letters written on the wall to let you know that, well, we've got 3 guys that we like a strong safety. The issue is, I guess, not enough of them can play free safety, because you've got Kai Stokes, it looks like the number 2, and we'll have to figure out what's going on there as well. Jansen Dunn, they need to get him back and healthy. And then even Legend Cavazos transfers because they move him from corner. They don't need him at corner anymore, and they move him to nickel, where he's got 2 guys ahead of him. And there's not going to be a lot of playing time for him. And Jacoby Cowan, he's been injured his entire career, and trying to make his way at defensive end at Ohio State isn't easy. Noah Potter, they moved him from defensive end to defensive tackle last year because there are too many defensive ends. Now they've got plenty of defensive tackles. He's a man without a home, even though he played well in the spring game. So these losses are, it's the Ohio State isn't going to be feeling them. Like, they're not going to be missing them on the field. They'll be missing them more off the field if these are all high character guys. And it sounds strange to say about your 3rd leading tackler in Bryson Shaw, but again, he was in there because Josh Proctor was hurt, and he played, 1 or 2 games before that in his career, and wasn't equipped for what they had him doing. I thought he would have been much better at strong safety this year, and not that he would have been starting, because they've got guys that they like there. So I'm happy that the players are all finding spots. I know there's a lot to do about the 45% of players that enter the portal who never find a home. And we can get into that if you want at some point, one of these shows. But I also think going to the portal is one of the new ways that players quit. And players quit every year, and they quit before the portal. This is just another way of doing that. And not that the Ohio State players entering the portal are quitting, But I think there's a lot to be there's too much being made about players getting stuck in a portal.